Well, it finally happened. My eBay account from literally 1999, the oldest eBay account that I have, finally got voluntold that I will be doing eBay managed payments, which I'm super duper excited about. But I took a look at it, and in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about the effects of what's going to happen, how I've kind of had to deal with it, what I've seen so far just with the transactions that I've done, and kind of where I think this is headed. So stay tuned and put your big boy britches on because it's going to get weird. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is James. You're watching Journey into Wealth, the video channel that I take side hustles, turn them into cash, take that cash, turn it into wealth. So if you like the videos, please like, favorite, comment, subscribe to the YouTube drill. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, all the things. Any links that pertain to the videos are always in the description down below, so check that out. There will be quite a few links in the description down below about this eBay managed payment things. Anyway, so I guess it was probably maybe 2 weeks ago or something like that. I got told that my account was going to be switched over by December 1st, no later than. So I went ahead and I just bit the bullet and I swapped it over before then. And I've done a couple transactions now. And I haven't even received my first payout yet. But I wanted to talk a little bit about eBay managed payments, what it is and what it's going to be, and what I think of it. So there's a little bit of opinion, a little bit of fact, a little bit of everything. References down below. So what is eBay managed payments? First of all, it's a program. eBay's been doing this since like 2018, 2019, something like that. They've been doing it in beta testing for certain accounts. They've been kind of pushing their sellers to kind of get onto it, but most of us have been, you know, just politely declining for a little while. But basically what it does is it cuts PayPal out of the transaction. It's the easiest way that I can say it. It's an in-house payment solution for eBay, so that eBay controls the entire transaction. Before, eBay used to list the item for you. It was a marketplace. Someone would go there, they'd find the item, they would buy it. They would be forwarded to PayPal, check out on PayPal, seller would get the funds through PayPal, and then eBay would manage the feedback and all the other stuff. So you had two kind of two different companies that were managing the transaction. Even though at one point, way back in the day, eBay actually owned PayPal, they actually split ways quite a while ago. And so for a while now, you've had to kind of deal with two different companies. Well, eBay's changing all of that. It's going to be, everything is going to be in-house. eBay is going to handle all of the payments, all the returns, all the transaction, the entire process. They're promoting it as a streamlined way for sellers to sell on eBay, and it's supposed to simplify the whole process for buyers and sellers, give the buyers more ways to pay, give the sellers streamlined reporting in an easier way to manage any kind of disputes or anything like that. So what's changing? Like I said before, the payments will be handled entirely within eBay. So everything that transpires from the point of checkout all the way until your funds hit your account, that will all be handled within eBay. Nothing will be going to PayPal. It basically completely cuts PayPal out of the deal. Which, if you're using PayPal's working capital accounts, which is like seller funding for stores that they need loans and stuff like that, you're basically hosed, because as of right now, PayPal doesn't have a way of seeing your eBay sales, so you can't really, they're not talking to each other, let's just say that. I'm sure that'll get worked out in the future. Currently, there's a couple other companies that are offering similar programs for that. So that's going to change. There's going to be some fee changes. eBay says less fees. I'm hesitant to believe that right off the bat. But there are going to be some fee changes. The main fee changes are, before it used to be your category, your listing fee if applicable. Your final value fee on eBay was, let's say, 10% on average. For whatever sold, and then you would go to PayPal, it would be 2.9% plus 30 cents on every transaction, 2.9% on the entire value of the sale. eBay was 10% on the sale item, or the sale value, and the shipping, but not the tax. Now with these new fees, it's going to be total value, 12.35% I believe it is, on the entire value of the sale. So that's value of the sale, shipping, and tax. So just the other day, for example, I sold something for $26.99. Total after shipping and tax was like 46 something. They charged me 12.35% on the entirety of that whole thing, plus the 30% or 30 cents for the transaction. One other change is that they're going to be collecting the final value fees at the time of sale. Whereas before, you would sell some things on eBay for a month, and at the end of the month, they would invoice you for all of your sales. That would be final value fees, any kind of bonus, if you did bold titles or anything like that, any promotional stuff. All of that stuff would be listed at the end of the month, essentially on like net 30 terms, for lack of a better word. Not quite 30, but close. And you would pay your bill at the end of the month. Now, with managed payments, they're going to be taking their final value fees out of the sale value as soon as you sell the item. So if you have $50 comes in and they're going to charge you 12%, they're going to take $6 out of your $50 right away before it even hits your account. Before you pay shipping, before you pay anything, they're just taking their fee right away. They're still going to invoice their extras at the end of the month. So like their bold item titles, their promotional stuff, anything like that at the end of the month. But you will have less of an invoice at the end of the month to pay for eBay because all of your item fees will come out at the time of sale, and you'll just be paying the extras at the end of the month. Next, they're going to have easier ability to run fully inclusive reports, so you'll be able to see what your fees are, what your actual take is as far as net revenue after shipping costs and eBay fees and tax and all the other stuff. And that's one of the things that they're promoting as a benefit to sellers. Me personally, I run my books through GoDaddy Bookkeeping because it's easy and it's streamlined and it doesn't matter how many accounts I have, so it doesn't really impact me at all. But the lead that they're kind of going with is that it will be streamlined reporting and streamlined accounting for sellers. Finally, my favorite part is that the direct deposit will occur to your bank account on a daily, or you can change it to weekly basis. And basically what that ultimately means is a delay in funds. So let's go over a couple of my thoughts on this whole process here. Starting with eBay handling the entire transaction. This to me it's good on one hand and bad on the other. There's a potential for it being easier to handle disputes and any kind of payment issues or seller issues all in one place without having to call PayPal and call eBay. I have had situations where I've called PayPal and eBay and had to cross-reference them and get on three-way calling between the two to get things handled back in the day, and that was kind of a pain in the butt. So it might be really nice to have everything all in one spot on eBay. The downside that I do see to that is that there is a potential overreach for eBay to withhold your funds. eBay's already stated that they will place holds on refunds the second it's initiated, regardless of whether or not a buyer follows through with a refund or return. For sellers like me that don't offer refunds, I don't do refunds or returns on my sales. Basically what that means is if a buyer initiates a refund, regardless of whether or not it's a valid refund, eBay is going to yank those funds out of my account, or put them on hold rather, for up to 30 days until it's resolved, which is fine. Whereas before, what would happen is a buyer would initiate a refund, eBay would ping me, I would decide yes or not, whether or not to accept that refund, and then the funds would come out of my PayPal account or my bank account as my secondary form of funding. It's one of those things where I just see it as potentially being an overreach. If you thought PayPal was kind of grabby with their funds, if they saw any kind of questionable transaction history, I just don't know how eBay is going to perform. That's my thoughts on it. As far as fee changes are concerned, I have seen a little bit lower, incrementally lower fee change in the downward direction, which is good. So you're going to be paying a little bit less fees. However, I do see the opportunity for eBay to increase their fees once they control the entire transaction. So I sound very cynical, but I'm just, I've been in the game long enough to see kind of how this works. They're essentially taking a standpoint of like what Amazon would. Once they control the entire transaction, they can kind of do whatever they want to do without any input from sellers, or without us being able to say anything or have options other than just leaving eBay, which is an option, sure, but for those of us who have built businesses on eBay, it's not that easy to walk away. There is an upcoming video about this topic, however, so subscribe if you haven't already to check that video out coming up soon. Final value fees will also be collected at the time of sale, as we talked about. My thoughts on that are great. You know, let's pay the bill as soon as we got to pay the bill. But also, I tend to operate pretty lean, and I operate on a credit budget. So at the end of the month, I would pay my fees on a credit card. I would get the rewards from the credit card. I would essentially have 15, 20, 30 days, however long, to operate using the funds that I would be paying in fees to continue my business, otherwise known as cash flow. And I no longer have that. So to me, the final value fees going away is not that big of a deal. Last month I paid like $95 in fees because I'm just kind of getting moving again. But that's another $95 that I could have used to buy more inventory, and then I pay the bill on a credit card and get the rewards. So now I don't get to collect the rewards on my final value fees because they take them out of the transaction. And I also have less working capital during the month while I'm trying to build up this business. Which leads me into my next gripe about eBay managed payments. This video really isn't just a whole gripe fest. Okay, yes it is. Whatever. The direct deposit that's supposed to be daily. There is a delay in a variety of points along the transaction. The transactions that I sold on the weekends, they stay pending until the end of the weekend, and then they post on Monday. At which point, if you've shipped anything, you've gone into that, you know, because you can actually still take your shipping out of your eBay balance, which is thankful because a lot of sellers would have trouble not having access to that money right away. However, the funds stay pending until Monday when they finally post, and then at that point, they initiate the fund transfer to your bank account the following day. So in the instance of a sale on, let's say, a Saturday, right? Saturday morning comes, you get paid, you print the shipping label, and you have the product in the mail on Saturday if you're just cooking here. You've eaten into your gross proceeds in your eBay account by whatever $10 the shipping was. And then that funds stay pending in your eBay account until Monday. They post on Monday, then they initiate the transfer on Tuesday, and then however long your bank takes to get you the money, it could be 1 to 3 days, 5 days sometimes. You may not actually see the money in your account and able to spend until Thursday or Friday. And I understand that's a worst case scenario, but as of right now, that's kind of been my experience. And I bank with Chase, which is not known for being super fast, but they aren't slow either. So I'm just wondering 5 days delay of cash flow in a business could kill it. So unless you have backup funding sources like credit or any kind of like seller capital type thing through any number of the programs that are out there, not sponsored by anybody, you're really it really hurts somebody to not be able to operate and have their cash flow coming in immediately. Traditionally, under a normal merchant account, that money would almost be instantaneously deposited. And currently with eBay managed payments, there's such a stepping stool into your account that sometimes it can take 3 to 5 days before you get your money. That's an issue for me. Finally, let's talk about reporting. There's a new tab in your seller dashboard that's for your payments, and it goes into detail about what you've been paid, what funds are available, what you've spent on shipping, when your next payout is, that kind of thing. It's attractive. Don't get me wrong. It's nice to have everything in one spot, but it's still just a second place for me to look because I use standalone bookkeeping software. So for me, the advantage of having everything in one spot really isn't there, other than the fact that I've had to redo my bookkeeping software to figure out and auto import the stuff that eBay's doing now. So it's actually been more of a headache for me currently than I think it's worth. So all of that to say that eBay Managed Payments is here. From what I understand, every seller will be forced to be on eBay Managed Payments by December 31st of this year. Going into 2021, it will be the only option. So aside from all of my complaining in this video, really we're just stuck with it. So you can adapt and do what you need to do in order to make it happen, or you can bail and go try and make way somewhere else. Me personally, I'm going to stick with eBay for a little while, see how it goes. eBay is known to kind of mess up regularly. So I would say keep an eye on your fees, keep an eye on your money, make sure that you're getting what you're deserved. Make sure you know what your fee categories are, because there are a couple different ones. One thing that I do like is that it's pretty clean and neat reporting. Their fees are pretty even across the board. It doesn't really matter what your category is. There's a couple variations, but not too many. So you pretty much can count on what you're going to get charged. A couple things that I don't like is that they charge your fee based on your item value, your shipping cost, and your sales tax, and then they add that 30 cents transaction thing. One thing there is to note is that it's a per transaction charge of 30 cents. So if you sell 4 or 5 items in one transaction, as long as it's in one shipment, they only charge you 30 cents. Instead of it being 30 cents an item, it's 30 cents in a transaction. So that's actually something they did do well. And depending on how your business works and how many repeat sales or cross sales you get, that could be a good thing for you. Overall, it is what it is. We're stuck with it. So it's kind of where we're headed. I see it being something that could potentially end up pricing a lot of sellers out. It's going to favor sellers that sell higher priced items, unless you just love paying fees. And it's going to kind of take a lot of casual sellers out of the market because there's a delay on your funds of up to 5 days. And that's for people with seasoned accounts. If you're a brand new account, you still may be subject to withholding limits and selling limits and all of the other things. So, I mean, there's plenty of other ways to sell your items that you don't have to wait for 5-10 days to get your money. Just some thoughts. So if you're on managed payments, let me know what you think. If you've been on it longer than me, I have just been on it for, they told me 2 weeks ago that I had to get on it, and I think last week is when I actually signed up. So I've only really ever been on it for about maybe 5 days, 7 days at this point. I sold $85 worth of stuff, so not a lot of sales. But this is just my thoughts so far. If you've been on it, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know where you think it's headed. And maybe we'll revisit the topic in a month or so after I've sold some stuff and kind of get a feel for what this is going to be. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. If you would, please like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Do the YouTube thing down below. There will be some links to some pages on eBay down in the description if you want to read up on those. And yeah, some other stuff. So once again, thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time.